Okay, I'm going to tell you this story. Keep in mind, I'm a controversial figure. Okay. So, I just went walking on the beach, East Beach. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I recommend it. And I'm going to tell you a very controversial story. So, about a topic I usually don't talk about. Libby Wennstrom. Salish rescue. Oh my God, not again. So, I just, obviously, my interpretation of reality, right? It's my mouth. It's my face. So, it's my opinion. I've never met Eric Wennstrom, still to this day. Never spoke to him, never emailed him, never communicated with him, never texted him. Don't know the man. But I've seen hundreds and hundreds of public records. Officer cam footage, incident reports, emails, prosecutors going after him, judges going after him, nonprofits going after him, police setting him up, deputies going after him. And Libby Wennstrom says, she said in her victim statement, Eric says I stole the Salish rescue, but no one can own a nonprofit. Bullshit. Cone bullshit on that. Libby Wennstrom is not a captain. She lacks any skill whatsoever to rescue anyone on a boat. And Eric Wennstrom's dream seems to have been to create Salish rescue. And maybe Libby had the money, maybe Libby didn't. Many people say, why did Eric leave his wife for Libby? I don't know. Was it money? I don't know. Madly, true love? I don't know. But it seemed that Eric's family was in the biz of rescuing, that it was in his blood, and he was a captain, and that he was really good at it, and that he loved the boats, and he trained people, and, I'm not glorifying him. I know that there was things that he knew that he didn't take care of that were, he probably should have. But the point is that Libby's saying in court, I didn't take Salish rescue. No one can own a nonprofit, right? She's the president of the nonprofit. I guess he'd owned the boats, and they created something over 20 years. And so she took it away from him to spite him. She took his dream. She took his way of life to spite him, to punish him. For what? Not loving her anymore? For wanting to split up? For, not doing as she pleased of him? I mean, she's clearly a dom, as the story goes. So, they're going to divorce. He's the ship captain. He's the one that's out on the water. He's the one that's capable of doing the rescues. He's the one that's training people. He's the one that did it. So she decides, well, in the divorce, I want this. And what I want is what matters to you most, okay? So I'm going to take Salish rescue. Can't run it, right? So she's got to, prostitute herself out to get men to run it for her. Well, this is my opinion. And then she puts, her bestie on the board, YMCA manager. And then she brings in some young'uns, and she bangs them, and then they help run Salish Rescue. None of them are capable of doing rescues like Eric was. None of them. Eric starts to drink a little too much, and he's doing rescues, and it starts to get weirder and weirder. And she shuts him down and takes away his way of life, his heart. And I've learned through Denny Ellison and the Braith Miller case, Touchstone sinking deliberately by Salish Rescue, I learned how much a man can love a boat and how much a man can be willing to give up and let go of everything in his life around him to keep that way of life, to be on the water, to be a part of the marine life, to live that life. It's a religion, it's an intimacy, it's a partnership, it's divinity. And these men that live it, it's their heart and soul. And Libby took that from Eric. Why? She had theater. She had her friends. She's a council member. She's got a boyfriend that she denies she don't have. She's doing, she's got a life to go to. She's got another house to go to. She threw Luke Seymour out. Why punish him and take the thing that matters most when she can't run it? She don't go out on the boat. She doesn't do the rescue. She's incapable. The board member that's the YMCA manager that threw Julie Jamon out, that I'm not allowed to say her name because she's got a protective order against me because the guy she's banging has one against me, and nothing to do with her husband, right? She can't rescue anybody. She's not capable of training anybody. The guy she's banging seems to have a certain amount of knowledge, but from what I've heard, he can't do the rescues by himself. I'm not claiming I can, absolutely not. But Eric could. And Eric could train people to do it, and did. And as the story goes, Eric got a friend. I don't know if they're lovers. I don't know if they had an open relationship. I don't know. But as the story goes, he had a really good friend, someone that he connected with. Like, wow, cool and groovy friend. And that Libby Wennstrom was complicit in the person's death. Say, she unalived someone. Let's just say she's complicit in it. Let's just say she made some moves where she knew that would happen, or, something bad had happened. Maybe to run the person off because maybe she was jealous. I don't know. Just stories. And as the story goes, Eric's heart broke. The death of someone very close to him. And then he turned to booze and started drinking more and more and more. And couldn't get away from Libby, couldn't get away from his life. You can't just, get a divorce. And the divorce was so horrible for so long because of Libby. Kept being like, well, Eric won't settle and Eric won't. No, because you took Salish Rescue and you gave it to goons who couldn't run it. Unhealthy people, rape apologists, men that are cruel to women. Libby and her Salish Rescue crew organized the Julie Jamon assault. She texted with people in the mob during it. She set it up. She hired those people to be there. She paid them. They were her crew. It's in the public records. It's fact. And Eric wasn't part of that. This is after she took it over. And she started, getting people to run it because she's a big shot, right? She wants to be in charge of everything. I'm in charge in theater. I got my attorney general job. I got my council job. I got all my jobs. I got me. I'm very important. And I don't care about Eric. Someone who she used to love, right? She stole Salish Rescue from Eric. No one can own a nonprofit. She stole it. Okay? She stole it. He was the ship captain, not her. She didn't have the licensing. She didn't have the qualifications. She didn't teach anybody. She didn't do the rescues. And then once she gets rid of him, or before she gets rid of him, she brings her best friend on the board, right? And then, there's a vote to remove Eric, but Libby's like, she says in her victim statement, I had to recuse myself from the vote, because, because the board had to do it because I didn't want it to be seen like I was going after Eric, right? So her bestie's on the board, who she just put on the board to remove Eric. They vote to remove Eric. Then they wonder why won't he give in? He won't give in to her. So then all of Salish Rescue gets protective orders against him. Shocking, right? Can't text him, can't say their name, can't nothing. Then the cops work with him, stalk Eric. They let him drone Eric. They looked in his windows, tried to set him up they took all his guns, they took everything to do with his way of life and kept punishing him for Libby Wennstrom. Right? Why? Any of this say love? Any of this say someone who should be a council member and leading the city or running the YMCA or being some leader of some clan mentoring young people? No. Libby Wennstrom ripped Salish Rescue from Eric's heart. She didn't have a captain's license. She wasn't qualified to do rescues. And the community is in danger because of it. It has been. The lackeys that the women are banging, they can't do it. And they're pillaging and they're, it's pirate, right? Rape and pillage, and they're taking people's stuff and they're putting it in Tacoma storage units, several storage units here. They're shaking people down for donations. They pay employees and pretend they don't have employees. They don't have employee insurance. All kinds of shady business, and hangs on to it for the power when she's not capable of running it. And then promises these men, okay, you could be the lead this, you could be the lead that, and you could be the lead this, but you got to do whatever I say. You got to beat up Judy Jimon. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. They're like, okay, because I want to be in charge of Salish rescue. When it should have been Eric's. Right? I was walking back on the beach and I was thinking about, just how cruel that was. And how many people just think that she's so great. No. Police, prosecutors, Judge Mindy Walker, Judge Remsen, Dove House, all these people that worked with her. Then she got an attorney to get Jenny Ellison evicted, right? Because she's jealous of Jenny, because Jenny's friends with Eric. Jenny knew Eric way back. Jenny is capable of rescues. Jenny saved Braith. Jenny, not alone. She's capable of organizing people and getting them in and stuff to help her. She has an immune thing. She has some different mental health issues, but she saved him. She coordinated the board of Port Townsend. She coordinated the men to take care of it. She went and bought the generators. She did everything it took to save Braith and save that boat. Libby and her lackeys and on the board there can't do that. Didn't do that. And then Libby can get online and she lied about it. Well, Braith did this and it was his fault and he did that. And, my guys never do that. Bullshit. Saw it in video. I had several people testify, okay? I put the interviews online and Judge Lorraine Remsen made me drop them. That they were harassing a whistleblower that asked me to interview him. And these are how sick these people are. There's not one reason in this whole entire planet that Libby Wennstrom should have kept Salish Rescue in their divorce. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's a danger to the community. Without her having the skills to actually rescue people, taking that away from Eric. I mean, Eric, drunk and on one leg and hand tied behind his back, and have more skills than she'd ever have at rescuing anybody. And they took that away from Eric. And people believe them. And then they go to court and they go, 1 and 1 is 5, and I got 6 heads, and Crystal is, she didn't win her case, and she's dumb, and she's got 40,000 heads and stuff. And Judge Remsen's like, okay. And Judge Walker's like, okay. Because they're either dumb, naive, or corrupt, right? And so I just wanted you to know, from my perspective, of all the public records and things that I've seen, people bullshit, they think someone doesn't own a nonprofit like that. She owns it. She's the president. She got her best friend to be on the board and vote out her ex-husband. And then I guess he was on one of the bank accounts and took some money. Well, yeah, it's his money. Buy some more. So what if they had a shared financial for like 20 years? The only thing he wanted, seems like, was his way of life. It wasn't her way of life. She was in theater. She was in all kinds of other things. She wanted to take his way of life and rip his heart out. After she was allegedly involved in the friend crossing over to the other side. Cruel and heartless to someone you once loved. And then like, I'm the victim. And the courts are like, oh my gosh, Libby, fill this form out. You can get money because you're a victim. And the prosecutors are like, well, get Eric. And the other prosecutor's like, we'll jail him for years. And then Libby's like, take his passport because he posted a public record of my boyfriend and stuff. And then Prosecutor Kennedy's like, probably better not do that one. But, so in Port Townsend, boy, I don't blame these that Brent Shirley complaint, that the 12 whistleblowers that don't want to come forward. I don't blame them at all. I mean, I do blame them. They should have the balls to stand up for other people. But I'm saying is I understand that, well, they're right, that they would be retaliated. And, any divorce, any situation, if you're the city employee or you're on the right side of the groupies or on the right FetLife Club, then they'll stick up for you, and court, laws, none of it matters. And they'll persecute the other and they'll set you up. They flat out set Eric up. The cop said they're right on the phone call. He didn't have a warrant, but they're looking in the window at Eric's house, right? Looking for any sign of guns so they can get him. After all of Salish Rescue got protective orders against him with lies. Even Elijah Johnson, who knew, what Libby was going on. So she blackmailed him, I believe, claiming, oh, you could be part of Salish Rescue and you could be... just the fucking Coast Guard. Why would you want to be part of Salish Rescue when you're with the Coast Guard? Only if it was a way of life that you could keep. But not when you got these evil, wicked witches in charge, that the only way for you to ride around on a boat and them to pay for it and to pay for your way of life for it is, you know, if you bang them. Ew. I mean, it's so funny. Libby's like, Eric's got a 20-something girlfriend. He's a predator and a pervert and a blah, 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 whatever. And she's always slamming the age difference, right? Her bestie's got a boyfriend the same age. That's no problem. Her other Salish Rescue person had raped the woman. Oh, no problem. But it's a relationship with my ex, and that's the problem. Oop-de-doop-de-doo. Anyway, so there's that story. But don't believe me. I'm a controversial figure. I am a, what is it that Diamante called me? I'm a right-wing, he didn't say nut job, right? So what did he say? Conspiracy theorist, wild, lying crone or something? No. Yeah, so don't believe a word I say. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. And these are the people that are running Port Townsend. God help you all.